This is Shanti Ingham doing a transportation narrative for Communication 444. Today's date is March 27th, 2013. I'm going to start my story off by explaining how one night I was laying in bed. Like any other night, I usually go on my phone and look at applications on my phone such as Poshmark, Groupon, or Facebook in order just to make me tired. So as I was scrolling through the newsfeed on Facebook, I had noticed that there was a video that one of my friends had posted that was linked to YouTube, and it seemed to have been going viral because it was also available on Access Hollywood and some radio stations. So this video had a posting on it as like a caption that read, "Do not read if you do not want to cry." I personally am a little raw to emotion, so I thought that it was no big deal to watch the video, so I did. I really did not think that I was gonna cry, but I really did a lot, actually. And so as I'm laying in bed and I begin to play this video, it starts out with this one guy speaking in a microphone at an obvious wedding scene, and he started to introduce the father-daughter dance. And he says that, as some of you may or may not know, we are missing someone really important this evening. And it flashes to a shot of the bride, and she's obviously fighting back some tears and some heartache. So at this point, I know that the one thing missing must be her father. As the guy keeps talking, he says that their father would have loved to be there to dance with their little girl, with his little girl, and starts to choke up, pausing for a second. He takes a deep breath and he wipes his eyes as the bride puts down her head in sorrow and is mourning. So he then begins to say that he wanted to do something special for Andrea, which happens to be his sister and the bride. And he not only wanted to do this for Andrea, but also for their dad. And because he knew that their dad would have been elated to be there with them and he couldn't, he decided to do this. So everyone starts clapping, and he announces that the song called Butterfly Kisses was a song that their father got to dance to with their sister Kristen at her wedding. So based on his discussions with Andrea, her brother had the idea to record and sing the song for Andrea. They flashed over to Andrea. She leans forward, completely shocked. She had no idea that her brother was going to do this, and her mouth was about to the floor. She was totally surprised and immediately just was holding her mouth. He puts on the song and he stands there wiping. He puts the song on, and as she stands there wiping her tears away, her grandpa, her father's dad, comes up to grab her for the first dance. When the vocals start in, Andrea about falls to the floor and her grandpa just holds her tight. The moment is absolutely touching and this is when I begin to cry. As Andrea is crying, you can see her body just convulsing in sadness, and her eyes are pouring out tears. Everyone in the back is crying and holding tissues at this moment, and as they said in the video, there was not a dry eye in the room. The next dance was with her brother Luke, and then with her brother Nick, who had recorded the song. And finally, the last dance was with her father-in-law, Scott. As I watched the video back, even at this moment, I am crying again completely over the video. It is so touching, and I find myself choked up in the throat while sniffling to the song playing because it's such a tender moment that Andrea is having with her family. And even though I don't know her personally, I just am super touched by this video. So later I did a little more research, and after I watched it, I found out a little more about Andrea's story. Her father, Mark, had passed away of pancreatic cancer shortly before the wedding date. He had always had a dream of dancing with all of his daughters to the song Butterfly Kisses, since it was his favorite song and they were his favorite little girls. I'm not totally sure why the video struck a chord with me, because maybe I myself have an upcoming wedding in September, or simply I just was so touched by it that it was I don't know, that it just made me cry. So whatever it may be, with no questions asked, this was a story that transported me. One minute I was doing my nightly routine, just laying in bed, trying to get tired, and decided to watch this video, and another minute I was bawling my eyes out and completely lost and forgot what I was even doing. I felt as if I was at the wedding myself, and I knew Andrea and her family. It was very personal and touching, and so now every time I hear the song, I get transported back to the video and how it made me feel. Experiencing this video has made me very thankful for my friends and family. I've had to go through a lot with my mom personally having cancer, and it is really life-changing. I know that I need to be thankful for the lives around me, and be thankful that they will be surrounding me on my own wedding day. And my analysis will be listed below.